and good evening, and welcome to Grand Touring Club Cup. Sorry, I've been put off by what's on the screen, which is half of Sam's iRacing. Welcome to BSTV, where everything goes really smoothly. This is season 3, round 3 of the GTCC, and we are at Le Mans. We're at the 24-hour circuit, and it's nearly a 4-minute lap, so it's going to be brilliant tonight. At the minute, we've got like 12 gladiators, or something like that. So it should be a reasonably exciting race. In the booth with me is Wobbly Kneecaps. How you doing?
All right. Hello, Pete. Glad to be here.
Excellent stuff. And on cameras tonight is Sam Booten. Good evening, Sam.
Good evening, everybody.
Or he will be when he gets some cameras to play with, that is. At the minute, it's still loading because Le Mans is quite a demanding track on any PC. And I'm Pete Bingham, so I'm going to be boring you to death tonight with useless facts, probably getting everything wrong, definitely getting names wrong, and probably cars and drivers wrong as well. But whilst Sam is still loading, Le Mans, Wobbly, not one of your favourite tracks, I gather.
No, I checked it out. That's why I'm in the booth.
Excellent.
No, I'm kidding. I never took the time to really learn it. I do think that it lends itself really good for GT cars, LMP cars, and endurance events. So the 90-minute race is going to be a blast. There's going to be a lot of tactic in it with fuel saving. When are you going to try to pass someone? How far can you pull away on the straights? Are you running low downforce, or are you gambling on just being in the draft? It's going to be absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Those choices that you just mentioned are going to be pivotal because there's so many massive straights on this track. You've got the first two that lead up to the two chicanes. Then you've got Mulsanne straight after those. Then you've got the section that leads up to Porsche curves. We'll go on board with somebody in a minute who's likely to do a decent lap, like I don't know, Kevin Viemont. Or Marco, someone like that. I mean, look at them now. This is qualifying, and they're all in a draft train. It's that's going to be quite a feature of tonight's race, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be positioning, and especially the qualifying is only 15 minutes. A lap takes around about 4 minutes-ish, a little bit more. So you get like 2 laps, 2 decent laps. And you want to be in the draft. You don't want to be the front runner for this time around. I think Marco is just on the screen right now being the top runner, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just, misbeat himself to get behind someone real quick.
Yeah, well, he's entering the Porsche curves now, is he? No, he's entering Indianapolis. No, he is in the Porsche curves. I was right the first time. Yeah. Oh dear. Told you, get it wrong, folks. So you get
such a professional.
Oh, absolutely, all the time. He's actually gapping Kevin Viemont behind him.
But Kevin might be backing off. He might be backing off just to get the full draft and not to beat the cars on the straights.
I always like this car because it sounds like it's not even trying. It's just like, yeah, whatever, driving the country.
Yeah, it's a bit like the BMW as well.
Yeah, the BMW sounds like it's gone to sleep as well, doesn't it?
He did get a really good run off there.
Yeah. I always pick up 1Xs through that chicane. So this is going through Dunlop here, up to the S's, or the first S rather, I should say. This one's not easy. It imbalances the car and sends the weight over to one side, Wobbly.
Yeah, I'm the first sector. That's the only sector I nailed because that's how far I got.
Well, you were in the Porsche.
No, I was in the Ford.
Sorry, the Ford. That's actually what I had in my head and said the wrong word anyway. This corner's absolutely vital. You don't want to roll too far wide there because this is now... Well, this is where you set the coffee running, just in your passenger seat of your car. Because by the time you need to do anything serious again, your coffee will be ready, especially if it's an espresso. You've got time...
If you stay on the left, it's less bumpy, so that's faster.
Right, and I was told, go down the middle of the road because the camber of the road lessens the distance to the bottom of the car and you get more downforce and therefore you go faster, but I don't know.
Now, it is in real life, but in iRacing, apparently, if you stay a little bit left to the white line, it's the fastest way. And I bet you Marco's listening, because I just turned off the white line.
yeah, totally. And it's a good job we've not got any grass down the edges of these straights, isn't it? Because I think we'd be doing some lawn mowing, because that's what people seem to do on iRacing these days, on these long GT races. Then we dive into whatever this chicane's called. I used to know all of these.
We call this the croissant.
The croissant?
The croissant.
Alright, okay. Because...
No, it's just because it's a French word. First thing it popped in my head.
Oh dear. So then we head down here. This is heading down to Mulsanne Corner now. No, it's not. This is the fast right-hander leading into it.
And this corner is particularly tricky. It still looks like there's a straight coming up with a little bit to the right. You can cut the course a little bit, but you need to get a good run on this one.
Yeah, because this is the straight that goes on forever and leads into Indianapolis eventually. So you got a couple of kinks along the way here, and then you've got this one. It's a bit of a slingshot. This one, the camber's with you. It's super fast, as is this.
Yeah, and this corner, if you watch the 24 Hours of Le Mans in real life, this is the bit where a lot of accidents happen.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Arnage, isn't it, or something? I'm sure Sam will correct me on my French. Excellent, I got one right for once. And then this... Sorry, go on.
No, go ahead.
So now we're powering on towards the Porsche curves. This one always catches me out the first time I do it, because it's sharper than you think, this right-hander.
Yeah.
And the wall on the right here should have my name... etched into it for the amount of times I've crashed there, that blue wall. And then this is the karting curves. I think this is something to do with the White House, is it? Or is that later? No, this is it. Yeah. Maison Blanche or something. And then down here, pit lane is on the right there. Take a bit of that because you get a better line into Ford chicane here. And then, is this Bugatti chicane? I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
No, I'm not.
But it's in French.
Need a translator, Sam. And that's a lap of Le Mans. It's far more technical and exciting than you think, especially when you consider those massive long straights. But you can have a picnic on every lap on your way around.
Yeah, and you did notice that Marco just went 3 seconds faster than the second guy, right?
Yeah. He was very quick in practice as well. Yeah. So, predictions for... Well, let's go through the standings. So, at the moment, without any drop scores, because there's no point, this is round 3. And they have to do a number of races before they can drop a score anyway. So, Stephen Walker is your championship leader on screen at the moment in that fine-looking Spectre 6 car. He's got 167 points. Second in our championship at the moment is Jamie Wilson. I don't know that Jamie... Oh, he is here tonight. Yeah, he's in his Lambo. I think he's there primarily because he makes less mistakes than everybody else. I think Spa was quite an incident-happy track for a lot of people.
Can't
not mentioning anybody's names. Wobbly. But yeah, he's on his way in his Lamborghini there. Marco Nemela is our P3 at the moment in his Mercedes. It was the car that was idling along earlier, or it sounded like it anyway. And then Matt Elmore in 4th. And 5th is Russell Cowell, his teammate. So Spectre 6 have got 3 cars in the top 5. Doing well on the team standings, I'm sure. We'll go to that in a minute. But all to play for in the individual standings. So Stephen Walker is 15 points ahead of Jamie, who is only 2 points ahead of Marco Nemela. 1 point ahead of Matt Elmore, who is 9 points ahead of Russell Cowell. Kevin Viamont sits just outside the top 5, 10 points behind Russell Cowell. So in the team standings, Spectre 6 lead the way, 307 points from their sister team, Spectre 6, with a number, not a word. Ooh. Yeah. Ooh.
Edgy.
Yeah. So they are 51 points ahead at the moment. BSTV Esports Orange is in third with 203 points. That's Tyler Newitt and Adam Wright. And then Never Quit Racing are in fourth on 201 points, just 2 points behind. That's Nikolai Bogatarov. And I think... Does Ant Woodward race this one? I think he might. I don't know.
He did. I think he did 2 races.
Yeah, he's cried off this one. Must be under the thumb already.
Yeah, he's scared because he punted me.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Nothing to do with you, of course. And then Team Chimera are fifth at the moment on 152 points. So they are 49 points behind fourth place. Glacier Racing, which is Marco Nemela's team, are in sixth. So you can see what happens when you're on a single car team. You obviously don't accrue the amount of points that a 2-car team does. So.
I thought he missed the race as well.
He probably did.
No,
yeah.
No, he didn't.
He just had a bad
crashed
one.
out.
Yeah,
like on Spa, his computer.
He had a PC failure, or his processor overheated.
Oh.
And then driver of the meeting, we've got 5 people in first place. We've got Kevin, you for some reason.
Because I drove to Ford, that's why I got
it. Marco, Tony and Anthony Jacobson. So it's all very much to play for. The head-to-head, I won't pretend to understand what goes on in this. There's 2 more rounds to go. Group 1 is headed up at the moment by Jamie Wilson. Group 2 by Stephen Walker. Group 3 by Adam Wright. And Group 4, which is yours, Wobbly. Kevin's beating you at the moment.
Yeah, probably will be because I missed this one.
Yeah, don't let that be an excuse for you. You were already 29 points behind, so we can see what's going on there. Oh no, 21 points behind. I just can't count. Never mind.
Yeah, it would have been close, I think.
Yeah, definitely. So, working through the top 5. Tell me, Wobbly, if there's any surprises in the following order. So we have Marco Nemela, who is significantly faster than anybody else. Then provisionally second, Stephen Walker. Third, Jamie Wilson. Fourth, Tyler. And Kevin rounds out the top 5. Any surprises in there for you?
No, I think obviously, it would be easy just to say that Marco would win this. But I think that if Stephen gets into the tow, he might really have a good chance of beating Marco. It's gonna be a real tough job to get it done, though. Obviously, Marco is really quick, but everybody makes mistakes. Even Marco makes mistakes. I mean, you never know. His processor might be overheating again.
Yeah, might do. And interestingly, in the top 5, we have 2 Porsches, 1 Mercedes, 1 Lamborghini, and 1 McLaren. So no one manufacturer is crowding everybody out, really. Do you see an advantage for any one of these cars?
I expect the McLaren to be really quick on the straights. Yeah, so we drove that one on not the Indy 500, but Daytona. That's the one.
Yeah.
You were in my team. You were going really slow, but even in the McLaren, you were fast on the straights. And we definitely had an advantage on that on the straights. And I think that if same concept, Tyler, if he gets into the tow, he might be able to keep up because it's just immense. And then again, we got the strategy thing as well, because Marco can be really quick. But if like Steven and the likes of Jamie and Tyler are able to keep up, and even Kevin, because he's pretty much on the same pace as Jamie and Tyler.
Yeah.
They might be doing something crazy and just pull a rabbit out of a hat and just do an extra lap, do something different, as Clyde would say.
Yeah, so just to remind everybody that the last time I drove the McLaren, which you were on board with, still are, I think, I was getting very good motivational sentences from Wobbly for several hours, actually, because we were driving in a 24-hour race, I think it was, along the lines of, why are you so slow? It's the pedal on the right. Why do you keep braking? I can't say one of them because it's got a rude word in it. But yeah, it was all very helpful, in inverted commas. Good evening to Roman Ratto on the chat. He is the provider of Kevin Viamont's paint. He is Mika Esports just as much as Kevin is. Shame he's not racing because he's super fast as well. He could definitely take it to these guys, and he said he's disappointed because he forgot to send the special livery of this Grand Prix in France. So the artwork that Mika do is just incredible. We were always stunned in the GT4 days when they issued the little banners for the races. Even those were fantastic. I remember the Canada one. It was just amazing with maple leaves all over it. I could easily have those as posters all over my room. Good evening to Stacey on the chat. She says she misses us. We're right here. Where are you? You can join us at any time you wish. And wobbly, why aren't you racing? He's not racing because he didn't practice. And Clyde can't be with us tonight because, as he said to us yesterday, he's at a lesbian wedding, or as lesbians call it, a wedding. Don't know why he needed to state that it was for other people of other sexual persuasions than himself. Anyway, and she says, Pete, best commentator ever. And I can only agree with that.
No, just stop it. Just retract those comments.
No, that's, she's got eyes and ears,
She obviously hasn't seen you in real life, then.
She's been to my house. She's on the Isle of Wight, isn't that nice? Only burglars in and around where Stacey lives. If you could just head in her house's direction, that'd be great. Just leave the cats alone because I like the cats. And evening to Olivier Guadalupe. Hello to you as well. So we've finished qualifying. We're about to go official in terms of the starting order for tonight's race. And as long as Marco Nemela hasn't done something utterly naughty, it looks like he's a whole 2 seconds ahead. Wobbly.
Yeah,
I mean,
there's nobody on track as well. So basically, what you see saw on the screen is the other starting stand.
Yeah, we didn't see very many people crashing on those laps, but you don't see a great deal of crashes other than in and around Arnage or Indianapolis corners. Because it's heavy braking zones around here, isn't it? It can catch you out.
And it's easy to get distracted. I mean, that's one of the main reasons, I guess, that I don't really like Le Mans, because my mind just flutters away.
I have been on this track heading towards the first chicane, thinking I was at the second chicane because I was just thinking of something completely obscure, and just lost where I was. And then I was on the wrong side of the track to take the corner. So I had to straight line the corner. Because in those days, of course, there was no bollards in the middle. For those of you who've been doing iRacing long enough to remember Le Mans without the bollards in the middle of the chicane. We once did a race round here, Sam, didn't we? With no chicanes.
Yeah, maybe. That? I don't really remember. And I've raced Le Mans since it's out, and I think there's always been anti-cat in the chicanes. But I might be wrong.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different sim, but the only other one was R Factor. Could have been there. Anyway, we did a no chicanes race here. We're in V8s, I think it was, because we did the same thing at Spa, was it? That was the one with the carnage, wasn't it? At Spa, where there was the massive pile-up.
So, did you guys notice that we have 666 drivers?
Yeah, it's the best number in the world, isn't it? Number of the beast.
It is. And I think that, if I'm correct, that Shane Powell drives a 666.
He does. I drive number 667, the neighbour of the beast.
So you're not good enough.
Why was Sam laughing at that? Why is that funny?
Because there's a good song called "Number of the Beast," which
I know,
you probably know,
Maiden.
And the neighbor of the beast is quite funny. And just for fun fact, with them, we called our tractors. There's one is the number, the other one is the beast, and I just talked about that and that made me laugh. That's it.
Right, okay. And that is why I have that number, because it is the neighbour of the beast. And I've seen Iron Maiden 9 times, I think. So yeah, fantastic band, and some of them live not too far from me. So,
is this one of your famous Taylor Swift songs you had in your playlist?
I'm sorry, what did you say there? Line was a bit fuzzy. You're breaking up.
It's actually quite funny. He's like, I got this real cool songs on Alexa, and he started playing first one, Taylor Swift.
Never happened, folks. Did really? Never mind. It's in the top 13 goth. What was it? Oh dear, I can't remember.
Top 13 goth? What are you talking
Yeah, I don't know. I should stop talking now. I'm buried underneath it now. Right, so I think we've just gone live. We have, so we should be able to go through the running order for this race. There we go. So your pole man for tonight will be Marco Nemela for Glacier Even Racing. I don't know what's wrong with me tonight again. Stephen Walker will go off second for Spectre 6. That's with a word. Yeah, not the number. I'll come back to that in a minute. Jamie Wilson will go off third for Team Chimera. Fourth will be Tyler Newitt for BSTV Esports Orange. Kevin Vierman will go off fifth for Mika Esports. Sixth will be Russell Cowell for Spectre 6 with the word. Jason Morris goes off seventh. Jason Haddington, I think this is his first race for GTCC, goes off eighth. No, is it not?
Is it?
I don't know.
I remember him being in this. Might be. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll check in a minute. For RWC Racing. Ninth will be Nikolai Bogatara for Never Quit Racing. Anthony Jacobson goes off 10th for Result Clothing iRacing. And then we've got Shane Powell in Spectre 6 with a number. You see the difference? And then Tony Walker for Spectre 6 Purple goes off 12th. Adam Wright, who I don't think did any times.
I don't even want to turn the page. Adam.
No.
It's a shame.
13th.
It's awful.
Unusual, to be honest. Yeah.
I think he didn't practice probably and just turned up for the practice and just did full long runs.
Yeah. So, BSTB Esports Orange, that's Adam Wright letting the team down. Anyway, maybe he'll win. Maybe not. So, we're on a rolling start. I don't know where the rolling start happens from. I can't remember.
Before the Porsche goes.
Right, yes. Yes. Underneath the little bridgey thing, or whatever it is, you go under it fairly soon after you roll.
So I'm quite looking forward to the start. Is anybody gonna try and make a move instantly just to slow down Marco? Is there gonna be carnage because the first Dunlop chicane it's always tight?
Yeah, and slippy on cold tires.
Yeah, slippy on cold tires, and you're getting a draft on the straight, so the approaching speed might be different.
Stacey was shouting for Tyler, and then in a fit of not understanding what she'd said, has retracted it and said she should be cheering for Result Clothing instead. So, sorry, Tyler, your one and only fan is now shouting for somebody else. If I was Stephen Walker, I would be irritating the snot out of Marco and making sure that I was somewhere in his mirrors or to the side of him before he got into that forward chicane.
He probably will, although Stephen is quite sensible to drive against, and he's really quick. But sometimes he should just be a little bit more elbows out, I guess. I think.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you should drive as me.
Well, what I'm saying at the minute is as far from elbows out as possible. Inset camera of Jamie Wilson there, so you can see the ensuing chaos.
And he's just come over, right?
Yeah, the planes have just come over. The pace car takes the most ridiculous turn off the track in a minute. It's one of the funniest things you'll see on iRacing. Whilst everybody else gets going. And he's gone, I think.
Yep, they're off. And I think that Kevin had a really good start. He was right up Tyler's rear.
Yeah. And he stayed with him as well, but he's got he's got a friend behind him, Russell Cowell.
And with Ross, you always know that he's gonna be trying to pass you every time, every opportunity he has.
Yeah, it's because he's always in the OP car.
He's always in the OP car.
Yeah.
And they're always racing.
Always. Racing.
I'm quite surprised that Jason is in the Lambo because it's quite a tough car to handle.
Well, no, I like the Lamborghini. I thought it was quite planted when I've driven it. I had a great race around Long Island, and I placed really well, actually. I found it very controllable, and if I can, he should.
If you're driving faster than 100 kilometers an hour.
You are such an elf. Anyway, Matt Elmore literally just missed it, he said. That sounds like a staged failure to me. We've got Russell. I thought he was putting a move on Kevin then. There is a move going on back here, though.
Oh, it's close.
It's close, but Nikolai's done a lovely move.
Yeah, tuck in behind and you'll be able to get him back on the right. It looks like he has a slowdown.
Oh, he does? Yep. Good call. Shane Powell with the naughty moves.
And that's one of the worst things you can have. Like a slowdown is annoying as is, but having it on the first lap, losing all the toe, and see every car drive past is just hideous.
Yeah, you can't shed the slowdown quick enough.
And at the front you can tell that Marco's really already going for it, but you can definitely see that Steven has... I think he's running low downforce because he's really pulling towards him on the straights.
He is, yeah.
Toe, but...
I mean, that's what you want though, isn't it? If you know you've got a fast guy leading the race and you want to stick with him, just drop the downforce and hope that you don't lose him in the corners. So we've got some tastiness going on right at the back here with Tony Walker. He's just been overtaken there, I think. Has he?
Yeah, and some say that he's been overtaken. And some say that Tony has more talent than Steven, and I think they're right.
Yeah.
It's just rumors.
So is that another slowdown being served there?
I think this is just a genuine draft.
Right. So Russell's bolted to the inside there. He's maintained the position, but do you think he was sending it? Because I did.
He was definitely trying to well, not nudge him, but just scare him into making a mistake. And I saw this race, I think last week. No, that was today. I was watching the MotoGP as I texted you, right? And they kept on doing weird moves, like just sending it on places where you wouldn't expect it, just to put the other one off.
Right.
And I almost looked like Jason did that to Russell, or tried to do that. Russell was not having any of it.
No, but
it's like,
more of that.
I'll just keep on driving.
Yeah. Stacey says, go, Russell and Tyler, so she's now fully on the fence. She's signing off to go and get drunk, but then she's spending 5 more minutes with us, so that's nice.
If Matt is not racing it, he probably has practiced, right, more than we did. So I think if after half an hour, when everybody's all spread out, you just might want to invite him just for a little chat.
Yeah, why not? So Kevin took the final chicane there in fine style.
He's really close up on Tyler, but I think that he's just letting off here. You can see him, he's lifting already, he's saving fuel. This is a major lift.
And you can save masses of fuel around Le Mans as well. Because you can coast into so many places. Be half throttle behind somebody.
And Steven is still within draft range of Marco.
Yeah, Cup has worked itself out a bit.
Can you pull up the interval, Sam? Just to see how much the gain on the straights is. 1.5. I think that the draft is 1.9.
It will be on such long straights, I think. You know, the cameraman last night had all these things on the screen already.
Oh, was that the one who missed all the action and kept doing the replays while the action happened?
No. Right, we've got lots of overtaking being attempted here. So this is Jason on Russell again. And this, that looked like it was closing a bit too quick, was Nikolai. And then, oh no, Adam.
What happened? Well, he's not...
well, he's certainly changed the shape of his car.
That looks less aerodynamic than it was.
A bit. So let's see what he's done. Oh,
Yeah, this is pure. Yeah, this is lack of talent.
oh dear.
So for the people who are new, me and Adam are in this fight all the time, where obviously he's trying to beat me and he can't.
Right then, we got many battles again.
Jamie has to slow down.
Three packs of three. No, I think that looks very slow down-esque. But why would it be at the end of the straight? Maybe he just hadn't burnt it off.
He did the same thing yesterday in the F4 race, where he tried to let off quite late, which cost him eventually. And I think the best thing to do in iRacing is just to, when you get a slow down, just try to serve it instantly, and you lose the least amount of time.
Yeah, I found that as well. If you just stamp on the brake, get rid of the slowdown as quick as you can, find yourself a friend and get drafting again.
It's going to be quite interesting though, because Jamie looked like he had a better pace than the guys who's behind now.
Yes. Yeah, so
Kevin is really haunting Tyler as well there. So Tyler obviously is decent at fuel saving, and he might be overdriving it now, and Kevin is just hanging back there trying to pretend that he's really pushing it.
Yeah, I mean, you would make the others think that, wouldn't you? And then dupe them in the pits phase.
Yeah.
It looked like Jamie could have tried to overtake both of these guys in the last corner if he'd been ever so slightly closer. He's not going to enjoy this though. That's a rolling roadblock in front of him, isn't it? Technically.
Yeah, it looks like. Jason overtook Russ. I think we missed that, or at least I missed that.
Whoa, yeah, that was at Indianapolis. It was a good overtake actually. And then
what's happened to
Kevin?
Because SDK.
Oh yeah, he's dropping. I don't know whether it's an SDK thing, but we do appear to have a backwards momentum on Kevin Viemont. But this is too good.
He's gone.
Jason's gone well wide.
Ooh, he might have had a disconnect. He's not behind Tyler anymore.
Yeah, he still looks to be in the session at the minute, but sometimes disconnects can be later than you think. As Jason Haddington having a look now at Jason Morris. Battle of the Jasons.
Oh, is he back?
Yeah,
he's back. I think he had a major connection issue.
Yeah.
But he's back in, so that's great to see. It looked like he did lose some time on Tyler though. So he might have been like a double standard thingy where he had a connection issue, even had a little incident due to it.
Yeah, he probably couldn't see something. He might have got black screen or something like that. But good to see he's still in it.
And I'm quite just to give Jason Haddington a tap on the back. He is keeping up with the guys in front of him. I mean, he's not keeping up with the likes of Tyler and Steven, but he's on it tonight.
Yeah, that Lamborghini's doing good things for him at the moment, as he tries to stay in the tow of Nikolai and Jason Morris.
And Marco checked out at this point. He's some 3.4 seconds ahead of the pack.
Well, he's not going to get any camera time because you got all this sort of stuff going on. So Jamie's about to pop out from behind Russell Cowell's Audi.
Or is he bump drafting him? No, he's not yet.
Yeah, he might be fuel saving because it's a big jump to Kevin's car, isn't it, ahead? So what's he going to... he might just be happy to sit there and save fuel. Whereas Jason Haddington with an overtake there on Jason Morris.
Good under the braking.
Team JJ.
He did a move on Nikolai though, not on Jason Morris.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, got my cars the wrong way around.
He's rubbish at cameras and commentating. That's...
Very harsh. Very harsh.
Yeah, it's true.
Right then, Mulsanne corner. And on to Mulsanne straight. So if Jamie's going to overtake at any point, it will be here. But I think he's just happy to camp out and save fuel at the moment.
Yeah, he's really under his wing, but he's just keeping up with him, not doing anything, and you can tell he's not even going full throttle at this point.
Well, he's following the OP car as well, isn't he? So
yeah, he's following the OP car. That's just the Audi. So. I think he could, although if he's trying to stay behind Russ, he could probably just lift off a little bit earlier than he is now.
Thinking, and somebody's going to laugh out loud, that the drivetrains in those two cars in real life are similar. Because aren't Lamborghini owned by Audi or the other way around?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I think they're the same in iRacing though.
Ah, right, okay. I thought there was a relationship there between those two manufacturers.
There is a relationship between snails and Frenchmen.
Wait, what?
No, they don't, Tyler. Shut up, you're not right.
What did he say? I can't hear the in-game chat. I switched.
Oh,
Oh no, Nikolai! Where's that? Porsche curves? Yeah, Porsche curves. I recognise those blue walls.
Oh,
Thought he was going to hit the blue wall then. Oh, hot into the second part and then on the brakes and then round. Yeah.
Just put too much speed in it, and then the arrow is just off at a certain point.
Yep.
But again, there's a correlation between snails and French. Do you know it?
They eat them?
Yeah, but do you know how many per year?
Here. French facts. Excellent. In numbers.
Numbers.
I'll go for 1 million.
Per person?
Oh, per person. Not a million. Oh no, who's that? Jason. And we'll come back to number of snails in a minute per person.
Yeah, sure.
What? That's weird.
Oh, that's rough because he probably broke his suspension due to it.
I think there's more than just his suspension broke. There's no bonnet or front on the car. That looks expensive, yeah. And that's a massive tow around here as well, isn't it? So what did he do?
I think he took too much speed and cut the inside of like the curb.
The curb?
And it scraped the ground as well and just turned it off.
That's a shame. So, snails. I'm going to go with 50.
Higher.
100.
Higher.
What? 200.
Higher.
Oh, behave. Is it just one person eating like 600,000 or something? Go on, how many?
Okay, the average French citizen apparently eats 500 snails a year.
500?
500?
Sam, how many snails did you and Loy last year?
Last week?
None.
None?
No, I can't. It's just... Even talking
I've
about
eaten
it,
them.
I'm about to throw away.
And
Just
to be honest,
disgusting. I would
What's
rather
the
eat Clyde's
facts?
poop. See?
Whoa,
And I would never do that.
that's a statement, man. We want to challenge you to that.
Yeah. Oh, dear.
But scrolling through those facts, I apparently just noticed that, yeah, you guys in the UK have no culture because kilts originated in France as well.
What? No, that can't be right. Kilts, as in skirts. That
That's in
Scottish
skirts.
people wear.
Yeah. As in like like the skirts. What's his name again? Who's the Scottish guy who drives this? Scott.
Scott Malcolm.
Like Scott Malcolm drives when he's driving the iRace.
Yeah. France, really? Really?
Yeah, I got more stuff, but I'll keep it for later.
Is that right, Sam? Have you just stalked Adam and he's now on Hell Let Loose?
Oh no, I'm just asking if you want to play Hell Let Loose. Obviously I can because I'm broadcasting, but still, it's just a joke,
funny.
Between us. Yeah. I made him play too much Hell Let Loose before the first V8 race.
Yeah. That's funny. I was on there earlier. I did really well. Anyway, so still got these battles going on. Still with Kevin stalking Tyler. That's got to be for fuel. We think that already. Jamie has put a move on Russell Cowell now, and he's ahead. So he's obviously saved enough.
Yeah, and Russell's got a key. I know Russell is quite quick at certain spots on the track. I already noticed, but Russ needs to keep a cool head and really utilize the fact that he's now behind someone. And he's got to feel safe and he's got to think and not just put the hammer down, or at least try to put the hammer down, because that's what I eventually did on Wednesday as well, where Shane and him we just kept on driving completely flat out. Where it's sometimes from time to time it's better just to be a little bit more conservative and just save the fuel and do it that way, do it like more in a tactical way.
Yes, makes sense. Is that another beer?
No.
Oh my god, I've run out. I'm gonna have to go and get a beer in a minute.
Yeah, I got myself prepared. So.
So Kevin is not as close as he was, but maybe that's by design. I'm not sure. Again, fantastic paint job. Shame we couldn't see the French GP one. Matt Elmore says he was flat out, no fuel saving, and an extra tyre change on Wednesday.
Yeah, so we were talking about the Lambo and the Audi being the same thing, and Tyler yelled something into the radio like, "Oh, they are the same," and I just googled it, and they are, in a large amount, they are the same.
Yeah,
but apparently there's a different aero package on the car. But again, I would never say that Tyler is right, so you're still wrong.
Oh dear. See, that proves that I do occasionally pay attention when someone of sense is talking, which Tyler generally does. Sorry, did you have a cough there, Wobbly? Did you?
No, that's just fine.
No, just clearing your throat, yeah.
Yeah.
So again, Kevin going on the mega fuel save, I think, because he's off the gas early at the ends of these straights. And we've got in the background Russell Cowell possibly doing the same with Jamie. After Jamie's possibly saved enough. We've got a couple of pit stops in this series each race.
Did I miss where Jason... Oh, never mind. Jason Haddington's still there.
Yeah, Jason Haddington's behind the group behind these two. So the running order at the moment is Marco Namela leads this GTCC Le Mans race by 9.5 seconds. He obviously holds the fastest lap at 3 minutes 52 seconds 0.94.
Isn't that faster than Simsport? No, Stephen's quality lap was at 3:52.4.
It was, yeah.
And
switchy there from Jamie. But sorry,
when you're close behind someone on like a track like this, you can get away with like 90 or 80% throttling.
Yeah.
And you save a bunch of fuel that way as well, because iRacing does it, calculates it more with how much throttle you use. There is a slight nuance in that, but generally speaking, that's the way iRacing calculates it.
Yeah, it's the distance that your pedal travels, which is the way that Gary always describes it to me, as opposed to how high your revs are, which is what an actual car would do. I'm sure that will be worked on by iRacing at some point in the future, but let's get rain on this track first and see what chaos that can rain.
I'm quite... I don't think that rain is going to add anything good to iRacing.
We had some very amusing races in R Factor 2 back in the day. I remember one in GT cars, just like these actually, GT3 cars, and just spinning around on the spot with slick tyres. There was not much else you could do. But it's about as real as you can get. I've seen GT cars on slicks in rain conditions, and they're just like on ice.
Yeah, I think it's great for a league race, but not in an official lobby. That's what I'm basically referring to.
It's another element of chaos, along with all the stupidity that comes with an official race, isn't it?
So, I saw this interview, I think, like the last Le Mans, I was watching it in some GT3 driver or whatever, or LMP2 driver, I can't remember. But he gave this interview and he was talking about how in bad conditions, like in rainy conditions or in poor visibility conditions with fog, not foggy, but fog, they knew how long the straights were. So they just started counting from like, they saw this pole on the left or something, and they started counting how long the time was till their brake marker was. So if they can't see it, they just count.
You know what? That's a certain death for me, because I'd be like, what was my last number again? Oh, no.
Yeah, so not all of them do that, but apparently some guys do that when the visibility gets bad.
Wow. I mean, that is unbelievable, isn't it? When you're traveling at these speeds and you're relying upon your own, your ability to count at the same rate every lap. I mean,
That's great.
What? That's crazy.
Well, it's fairly easy because you've got the time on your dash, so you can see the seconds.
Yeah, you have to.
Right,
You have the little.
Not saying it's easy to remember for each corner how much you have to count. But
yeah, true. Yeah.
you have them on your dash to be precise for each lap.
But then if you... No, never mind. I was going to say, if you do a slower lap up to that point, then you've then got to use maths to figure out how you're counting forward, so never mind.
Well, your issue with that system, Pete, is that the number would be so high for you that it's not even
so much of a knob.
900.
Why do I turn up to these things? Why? Marco Mailer's just done the fastest lap of the race again, 3:51.99. That is faster than Stephen Walker's quali lap.
It is, yeah.
So he's gained himself now a 13-second gap. That would be spectacular if Stephen Walker hadn't got himself a 14-second gap over third place.
Yeah, it kind of discredits how fast Steven is going. I mean, Marco is on another planet, but then again, Steven is on another planet compared to the rest as well.
Yeah.
But I'm also kind of thinking, and it might be wrong, but I know that if you drive like a second or two slower, especially on a track this long, you might be able to put the extra lap in, which saves you tons amounts of fuel.
Right.
Otherwise, either is slow or he's doing that tactic. It's one of both.
Well, there's the other thing that comes in, isn't there? So Tyler will be fuel saving. He'll be working to a number, most likely. And then Kevin is also working to that same number, in theory, or more, because he's the one in the tow and saving greater amounts of fuel. Plus, Tyler's busy throwing it out the back of the car every time it lights up in the exhaust pipes. Free fuel on the floor. So you don't know how much that gap will reduce, because the two guys that are 13 seconds and 14 seconds ahead, they'll be using maximum fuel every lap.
Yeah, and those guys are really close together. I mean, Kevin is closest to Tyler, but within a gap of like, let's say 6 seconds, Jason Haddington is, for example, still hanging in there. I mean, if he's able to do something special or do a really good lap time like 3 or 4 times in a row, then you're right back in it. Where Russell is now slightly losing Jamie. He's slightly losing Jamie.
Yeah,
like
Jamie's
10 by 10.
Yeah, Jamie's pulling away now. I think there's still tow there for Russell, but it's distant. It's more like a whiff rather than a, drawing his car forward.
If we keep on track on keep a look at the interval, we see that Jamie is still pulling away on the straights at this point, and but it might be a different setup as well. That like if Ross would have been in 1.4 seconds, let's say, then he would have been able to pull towards it.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm very impressed at the minute with Jason Haddington. He's just behind Russell here, not being dropped by that much either. He's 4 seconds behind. He's had a few tussles and done some overtakes. Doing a good job so far.
Don't encourage him too much. He probably got his hot pants on and will spin out.
Yeah, I've just noticed that Sam hasn't downloaded the paint pack. Because, hey? Well, it looks very different on my screen. It's all blue and white on my screen.
I did just before the race.
Oh.
You are running trading paints, Pete.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
I'm gonna try again, and if it's not correct, you owe me $500.
500?
Yeah, just because I want to. Reloading. And if it's correct, well, you done something correct for once.
Then you owe him 500. Let's do it that way.
Yeah, let's do that. There's no reason why it wouldn't have loaded.
There it is. Okay.
I will never understand how it works.
Yeah. I am so rich right now, folks. So rich.
It's just so weird because I did download the paint pack and put it in.
It does that sometimes. It does that to me. It just ignores it. It's like, I don't see that.
I don't understand why, but yeah.
Book's got his lucky pants on, according to Cap, which is Matt Elmore.
You know the people of BSTV, Pete, right? To get your $500. Okay, cool.
So, when do we expect pit stops? Are we expecting them to split the race in half? As who's that gone strobing behind Anthony Jacobson's Shane?
They're gonna be in a good fight. Looks like they're only gonna be the same pace.
Yeah.
And Shane usually gets faster as the race goes on. The last race I was driving against him, and he was, I don't want to say he was nowhere on the quali, but he was a bit off compared to the others. And then during the race, I don't know what he did, but he just kept going faster and faster.
Yeah, some people get that muscle memory, don't they? And they adjust it as they do their first few laps, and then by the time they're doing their 10th lap, they're super quick, just through remembering. He's definitely catching here, though, for sure. Got some good lines through some of these corners as well.
You know, it's underestimated how fast these cars are going, although it's obviously the same, but still, it's like, I'm just following Marco at this point for a little bit in iRacing, and he's hitting 277 kilometers an hour now.
Good grief.
He's now past it. So he made it to 282 kilometers.
Oh, Shane's going to get a pass here. Look, there we go. Shane has done Anthony Jacobson. Anthony took it too fast into the S's after the Dunlop turn.
It might be just on purpose. Seeing that Shane is faster and just tugging in behind him on use his toe.
Possibly, but it did look like a mistake, unless he...
290 for Steven, Jesus. Sorry.
Oh, that's crazy. So
yeah, I didn't say he didn't make a mistake, but then again, he might be just feeling pressured, and well, if it's a genuine mistake, it's fine. But then he can use the toe of Sheng.
Yeah, definitely. And looks like Russell's been spat out of the back from behind Jamie now, as we see our race leader all by himself. Super smooth and super fast, Marco Namela. He does accrue a few incident points as he goes around with off tracks, though. So we'll have to see if that. Have? I have no idea at the minute, but he does rack them up in certain race tracks.
Yeah, I mean that's I think that's the way to push the car and push the. Oh, that's just.
Oh! Where's he off? Oh dear.
It's the other way, mate.
Yeah, Anthony Jacobson.
He went for the move. I think he sent it and just slightly overdid it under braking, and the rears cut it off.
Yeah, it's that bit where the back end wants to overtake the front. So
I think it was super late on the brakes, and he had the toe, so he might have missed just his brake marker. Yeah, too much speed.
Oh, yeah. And a bit of a hop over the curb as well to try and straighten up the corner.
It looks okay-ish. He doesn't. That might have
wasn't-
some damage, but
It wasn't a big hit. It was more. In fact, it doesn't look like it's affected at all from that shot. But it's more the track position that he's lost, isn't it?
yeah, it's unfortunate because he was doing pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, he was doing a great job. He's now 7 seconds off the back of Nikolai.
And Jamie and Russell are, and Russell's creeping back to Jamie now, as it seems, and they're not off the pace compared to Tyler and Kevin. I think
No,
those
they're not.
4 and maybe those 5. Jason is falling off a little bit now, but let's say those 4 are really on the same pace. I think it's just a difference in, like, you have Kevin and Tyler obviously haven't had an issue on any lap, where Jamie had to slow down and Russell might be just a little bit slower, but still able to keep in Jamie's draft, pulling him forward.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to watch how that turns out after the pit stops.
So back with the leader here. Entering lap 9 now.
No,
Stephen Walker in second. Yep, sorry.
And Tyler's trying to break the toe or whatever he's doing. Just saw it on my iRacing. Might be just also doing some shenanigans for the broadcast though.
It might be, but he's probably thinking Kevin must have now saved a massive amount of fuel already. So he's going to get hugely leapfrogged in the pit stop.
Yeah, I think that Kevin holding the best cars of this group. He's doing the smart thing just to stay behind Tyler and I think if Jamie, Jamie's probably saving a little bit, but I don't think he's saving as much as those 2 in front of him.
No, well, Jamie's catching these 2.
Yeah, but he's burning off a lot of fuel to do so.
Yeah, true. Kevin took quite a lot of curb just then and got a bit of a slide, leaving the first chicane. But you're right, Tyler's definitely trying to throw Kevin off the toe. Probably just trying to make him use a bit more fuel.
You know, if I can give him one advice, just miss your brake marker.
So, what other interesting French facts have you got?
Yeah, I got a couple. I need to get to my second screen though.
Can't believe that Sam's not eaten any snails.
That was weird, right?
Yeah.
So, obviously you have never kissed someone. I mean, I know you were married, but you never kissed someone. But if you would go to a train station in 1910,
Yeah.
there's apparently a law where it forbids you to kiss on a train station platform.
Oh, we'll have to ask Clyde about that.
So, apparently it's a thing there. You
Really?
can't kiss. Yeah, apparently you can't. By law, you can't kiss someone on a train platform. But these are, I mean, these facts are things like, if I would search such things at Sanford, I would find crazy things as well, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And all the facts about America are stated fact.
Yeah, like the chocolate milkshake one.
What was that again?
That 7% of the American population believe that chocolate flavour, chocolate flavoured milkshake comes out of brown cows.
Yeah, that's crazy. It was really fun. I found another fact about Le Mans, by the way. It's like the highest recorded top speed is 409 kilometers an hour.
Wow.
And croissant was actually invented in Austria.
Oh, I think you've just found yourself some French enemies there.
I was like as well.
Pretty sure they've claimed that.
Although the crescent-shaped pastries have been popular since the Renaissance period, 14th and 17th century evidence suggests that this shape has been popular as far back as antiquity. And then it says something about, but the 13th century in Austria, the most traditional one was the croissant.
Oh well, sorry, France. You've lost out on the croissant.
You lost all identity. It's like the UK. It had an illegal language. They spoke French for 300 years.
Well, they had to, otherwise they get beheaded. It was a slight influencing factor at the time. Speak French, or I'll chop your head off.
And obviously, one of the main reasons France lost the war is because they used pigeons as carriers.
Well, yeah, they just got shot, didn't they? Yeah.
So, but then again, I'm pretty much never welcome in France anymore.
Definitely not. No.
I think like 3 years ago we were in France for our holiday, and I'm always up early, especially when I was sleeping in a tent. It just gets too warm and you just get up. So I always went to this pastry or this baker, and just to get the bread and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I always mix up the words with Italian, because I went to Italy quite a couple times before I went on holiday myself. And at a certain point, when I ordered things, I just automatically did it in Italian.
Right.
And I think after like the second day, after the third day, the woman was like, "Ah, Mr. Italian."
Busted. You're the Dutch Italian bloke, right? Okay. So that was an overtake there by Nikolai Bogotyrev on Tony Walker. Nice and smooth.
Yeah, it seems like they found each other. They're helping each other out, pushing each other forward. And meanwhile, Jamie also came back towards the rear of Kevin. He's within a second now.
Adam said in his conversation with Sam on Discord that he thought he saw a sniper, so he tried to dive behind the wall.
Oh, there you share private conversation.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
That's okay.
Yeah, we don't share your dick pics, Pete.
Why not?
Well, because we will have less viewers than we have.
Because we can't see it and can't find it.
It's what you use a macro lens for. Right. Right, this is getting busy around these guys now. So this is Tyler and Kevin.
Yeah, I'm curious what Jamie's going to do. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken him a while to catch up with them. Maybe he's going to be like a dog chasing a car. If he caught it, he wouldn't know what to do with it. But I think he will do. I think he's going to sit here and save a bit of fuel, so he remains competitive now. Because he must have used a massive amount, like you said, just getting here.
Yeah, I think he probably did, but maybe Simon is coaching him through where he has to lift, because Simon Trendle is like the master of fuel saving. I mean, I'm good at fuel saving, but he's the master. So if he's getting coaching for Simon at the moment, right now at Discord, he might be pulling it off even without really emptying his tank.
And did something happen with Tony Walker and Nikolai? Because Nikolai was ahead of Tony, because we saw the overtake, and now they're back where they were again. So
Tony overtook him on the second chicane.
Ah, there we go.
If it was the second, I believe.
Here we go.
Yeah. It was on screen.
Yeah, so the previous one, was it really?
It was, yeah.
On this screen?
No, on the other one, which is right next to you. I know what you want from me, mate.
Yeah, that's funny. Oh, and once we switch back to live cameras, Jamie's moved ahead of Kevin.
We saw it on the inset picture of Jamie on the screen.
Yeah, I was kind of one eye doing that.
So I'm thinking, it's like we're almost at the halfway point. pit stops are gonna be coming in within 10 minutes, probably, maybe 15 if somebody is able to pull off way largest fuel saving. So it's now on the point, right on the verge of what's going on, which tactic are you gonna use. And as I'm saying that, I see Russ in the background, so Tyler definitely slowed down the pace, save more fuel.
Yeah. Because Russell can never go faster.
You're racing.
So, last lap, Marco Nemela yet again went faster. 3 minutes, 51 seconds, 0.32.
Yeah, and for Marco, he's so much quicker than the rest of the guys, and even for Steven. I mean, Steven is also 25 seconds ahead. They don't have to fuel save because they are never going to lose 25 seconds in the pit.
No. Not unless you're fueling 2 cars at the same time. So Tyler trying to break the toe there. Jamie not really having any of it. He was just like, well, I'm just going to carry on doing my own line. You've got to come back onto the racing line at some point. Although a bit ragged through the chicane there for Jamie.
Yeah, he seems to be diving it in quite deeply. Jamie's pretty good under braking. So he's always braking a little bit later than you expect. Like yesterday on the F4 race, where he just was able to brake just 3-4 meters later than I was on the chicane, which gave him the advantage on the first race. And then I punted him off. What? So I mean, and again, we are halfway through, so I think it's time to call in our good friend Matt. Matt, if you're listening, hop in the interview room. We'll get you in, talk us through the lap, talk us through the track, how you approach this, and talk us through how did you practice this large ass track, if you want to, and even if you don't.
You can't tell how much Tyler is lifting by the fires coming out of this.
It's a bit of a giveaway, isn't it? Yeah. And again, Tyler's desperate to get Jamie out of his toe, but Jamie's not reacting too much to that.
Matt is in the Discord. Let's get him in.
All right.
I can't, so you have to do it,
Matt. No, I know. I'm just trying to navigate to the right screen at the moment. Or I could just wait for Sam to do it. It's up to Sam, really. So, off you go, Wobbly.
Yeah, so thanks, Matt, for coming in, and goodbye. No, I'm kidding, mate. Great that you hopped in. Yeah. So you said you had a family barbecue. I suspect you did do some practice with the guys from Spectre 6. Oh, Jamie's going in, by the way.
Yep, on the screen.
It's on screen right now. Jamie just came in, just the first one. It's going to be on the short end of things because he's on 43 minutes. It's still 45 minutes left, 47 minutes left to go. So he's going to be saving a lot next in. Anyway, so Matt, did you practice for this race?
I did. I did some practice. I hosted a lobby, actually, I think, if I remember rightly.
I probably hosted that one, but it's okay.
Oh, sorry, yeah. You hosted a lobby that I paid for.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah. So what was your approach on the track? I mean, it's such a large track. Did you focus on one sector? Did you do, or just kept on driving and keeping it on track? What was the way you practiced this?
My 100% honest evaluation of my practice around here is I concentrated on one sector and one sector only because I kept crashing on that one sector. Didn't get around any other sectors.
And which sector was that?
First
sector. Yeah, that's a pain in the ass. Such a Dunlop.
No, I did crash quite a lot. I didn't do a lot of practice. I got quite frustrated with myself and then rage quit.
A race quit? Yeah, that seems like you.
Yeah, I did. I did a Russ.
You did a Russ? We raced you.
Sorry, Russ. Love you, really.
So what do you think about the battle right on the screen? We got Tyler, Kevin, Jamie just was the first one to blink. And right behind that, we got Russ. From my experience, Russ isn't the best fuel saver. Can you tell us some inside information about that?
I can, and believe it or not, Russ is actually a lot better at fuel saving than what you think. It's just that in TCRs in particular, he's the same as me, gung-ho. But in these, he'll fuel save quite a lot. If he can keep up within the, I can't quite see, is the gap close enough for him to be fuel saving at the minute?
Almost. He dropped back and then came back, and Tyler just either had a slowdown or he let Kevin by.
I think Russ will try and stick with keep the fuel consumption down as low as possible, and then I think it's just going to be a mad sprint on the last lap or so.
Yeah. I think he burned a lot of fuel trying to get back to this T2. And what about Steven? I mean, he obviously his teammate almost checked out with Marco as well. So I'm guessing you just came from the Discord and Steven is probably yawning already.
I haven't joined the Discord. It's my daughter's 10th birthday tomorrow, so we were at a family barbecue. Hence the reason why I just missed the start.
So you missed Le Mans because of your daughter. That's the way the priorities are.
But yeah, I haven't joined Discord tonight. But obviously I've been in Discord all week with the practice lobbies, etc. So yeah, I kind of, I think he's where he thought he would be. It was pretty obvious that he was going to check out up front, and Wood was just going to be chasing P2, if not be drafted. And to be fair, I think he thought Tyler would be a bit closer.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Pete, what's your opinion about that?
Yeah, I think. Well, at the minute, I think Tyler is possibly quite marginal on fuel. I'm not sure. He did let Kevin go, and I suppose I'm a little surprised that Russell's kept with these two. But like Matt was saying, he's apparently good on the fuel saving as well. So let's see what happens. I mean, these guys have got to pit in either this lap or the next one, because I think they'll be running out of fuel by then.
Let's just say he's got a little bit of lap time left in him yet as well.
I mean, you're on. What were the general times you were doing? Because I mean, I think that Tyler usually is decent on a track. He's not always the fastest. He's the slowest, to be fair, of all BSTV drivers besides Adam. But do you think that Russ can handle Tyler?
No, I don't think he can handle Tyler. From what I've seen from Tyler, he's usually pretty much on the ball every lap. He's very consistent and he's got pace. But I think he's got pace to keep with as best as possible while the toe's there. But I know Russ has got a little bit more in that lap time.
And looking to how you told us you did practice, where would you be on the grid right now? Would you be with these guys? Would you be further back or further forward?
I think I'd probably be battling Jason Haddington, to be fair. He's having an absolute blinder, and that's at best. I'll probably be a bit beyond that.
Yeah, I think that hats off to Jason. He's really doing a good job. He's slightly off pace compared to Ross, Kevin, and Tyler. But then again, he's closer than he's ever been with the guys. And particularly, he's very good on the straights, I heard.
That's funny.
Yeah, no comment. I think he's been absolutely brilliant, to be fair.
Yeah. So, what do you think about the league? Are you enjoying it so far?
The GT3s, I don't drive them, so I'm using this to gain a bit of experience. I picked the BMW because I saw a lot of people aren't in it, and it's the only one I've really spent a little bit of time in. So I don't know whether it's a good car around here, a bad car, but to get a little bit of experience and to change it up from the TCR, because I feel like I'm driving a little bit too much TCR, it's good for the break.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, I try to switch up quite a bit as well.
I've noticed.
During the leagues, doesn't matter. During the laps, it doesn't matter.
Yeah. Well, as you know, we ran quite a few laps on the TCR the other night together, and that's pretty much every single night I come on and just run TCR laps, lap after lap.
Yeah, and it's completely different with the rear wheel drive and a little bit more downforce. It's the whole package is. I think the TCR is challenging. But GT4 has so much competition in it When you hop into an official lobby, an official race, fixed or either open setup, it's always packed full of people, and everybody's quick, and everybody thinks they're gods, and I think that's the main issue, to be fair.
Yeah.
So
That
Marco
was
just went
Marco
right?
in the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Stephen's going to follow him here. I don't think there's going to be too many more laps that you can do in these cars.
No, I think
and
this is the
fuel.
max. Yeah. If you're able to do more than this, then you definitely should be driving the real Le Mans, I guess.
Yeah. So, anybody you want to pin your win on tonight? You'd be hard pressed to bet against Marco, wouldn't you, Matt?
Yeah, I think he's unless he makes an absolute horrendous mistake. I think hands down it's his to win, or his to lose, should I say?
Yeah. I think we all agree on that. And they're all going in, so they're staying out. Another lap, you see.
Oh. Not all of them.
No, so Russ just went in, and now it basically is about. Sorry. Now basically it's about is Russ able to do a faster out lap than those guys because they're saving? Is he gonna compensate for the time standing still while fueling? It's gonna be quite interesting what happens now.
It is. What is also interesting is that Marco is a full pit stop ahead of everybody. Because he's come out ahead of Kevin Viemel.
Yeah, we all know he has grip hacks.
So, we'll let you back into the real world, Matt. Hope you have a decent end to your daughter's birthday and didn't get food poisoning from your own barbecue.
No, I'm just about to go out on track on Brands Action and do a bit of practice.
Cool. Well, enjoy that.
Track.
Good luck with that.
And we'll see how your boys get on by the end of this race. Thank you very much.
No
Matt
worries.
Elmore.
See you later, lads.
Thanks, mate.
I was tempted to flush you instead, but...
Yeah, I was tempting to have to make a little pit stop somewhere.
Oh, really? Okay, he's going for a foggy.
Foggy? I'm going for a shit. No, I'm kidding, man. Sit to pee.
So, we've seen a lot of cars on pit road, including our current leader. He came out ahead of everybody, so ahead by an entire pit stop. Those cars that stayed out for one more lap was Kevin and Tyler on your screen at the moment. It'll be interesting to see where they end up in relation to Stephen Walker, Jamie Wilson and Russell Cowles, because one thing I've spotted is Jamie is out ahead of Russell, and Stephen is ahead of Jamie, obviously. He had a significant lead before he went in. Jamie's lead over Russell seems quite substantial all of a sudden. Because it's all of that you can see there on your screen. So we'll have to see how that pans out shortly. Because the other two will be approaching a pit stop in a minute. Jason Haddington in the background is looking very interested in the back of Shane Powell. He's catching him. Shane was one of the first visitors to pit road. As we see Kevin and Tyler pulling onto the back of Kevin again now, and both of them watching Marco Namela pulling away from them, which must be a bit dejecting. To make our way through Maison Blanche. And we should, before we get to the chicane, both peel off into the pits. This will be interesting to see who has managed to save the most fuel and therefore have the shortest stop.
Hello.
Hello. And where they come out in relation to the likes of Jamie and Russell, because that's who their sparring partners were before these pit stops.
Just in time for the.
Yeah, just here goes Stephen Walker.
He's obviously going. I'm most curious about where Russell is going to end up. And Jamie, I completely forgot about him.
Yeah, Jamie's got quite a large gap ahead of Russell compared to when he pitted. Obviously, Stephen's got a mega gap over Jamie, and Marco Nemela's gap is just ridiculous.
We just don't. We just ignore it. We're just gonna say that Tyler, Kevin, and Jamie are running for the win.
Yeah, well, Marco's going to win the next race at this rate. Right, so Tyler is away first.
Ooh, I didn't expect that.
I didn't either, actually. I thought Kevin would have been sat there fuel saving the entire time. I bet even he's surprised by that. But it does look like they're going to get out ahead of Jamie.
It might have been also a bit of an underfuel by Tyler. Oh, no, that you can't. Yeah, you can. So you can basically underfuel and just to drive away in the first 3 or 4 laps and then save more at the end.
Yeah.
Just to get him out of the tow. If Tyler feels like he's faster than Kevin, probably the only way to get him out of his tow and not being, a sitting duck at the end.
It's a good tactic that you described there, actually. So underfuel your car purposefully, knowing that you can save that fuel later on anyway, and get yourself a gap to the car that's been using you as a tow line. I quite like that tactic, to be fair.
We could, like, winky face, ask the person himself, winky face.
Yes. We could.
We could.
We're not going to, because he's currently in 3rd place. And if we were the result of him being distracted and crashing, then
yeah, I know it.
That'd be shocking.
Now it wouldn't be.
So Jamie's definitely catching Kevin now.
Tyler just made a comment in the iRacing where he said, "You guys can pull me, because it's Lamar. I'm getting bored anyway."
See, I don't know whether you're lying to me now.
No, I'm not lying.
You know I can't hear the chat because I switch it off.
No, wait, let me check. Let's just put him in the straight, on a straight, like now.
I'm not doing it. No way.
Next one. We'll see.
Pete, this is basically just fill in the blanks. Lifting is for you
are. Yeah.
Just fill in the blanks.
Okay.
There we go.
What?
Sam said next straight. This is a straight.
He's done it as well. Evening, Tyler. How you doing?
Hello.
So we're talking tactics here, and Wobbly thinks you may have underfueled the car slightly on your stop in order to get people out of your tow, and knowing that you can make that fuel time back later on in the race. Is that a tactic that you've employed?
Well, as usual, Wobbly is completely out of touch with reality. But
well, we knew that.
I realized at some point I wasn't going to catch Steven, so I just decided to see if I could save 2 laps over everybody, and I was about 0.5 liters short of making the extra lap on Kevin. So if I did underfuel, it's because I switched to using liters this week instead of gallons, and that's what I'm going to blame.
Right, okay.
So you've
gone all so you've gone all metric on us. Right then, so in terms of the 2 in front of you, what the hell is going on with them?
Well, Marco's just on another level. He's unlocked something in that Mercedes that, at least Adam can't figure out. So, yeah. Steven, I think I could have stuck with him if I had his toe, but he had Marco's toe, and I was behind Jamie. So I think he's definitely quicker than me, but, the toe is so powerful around here. and he's a little more in the realm of reality, unlike Marco, who is just absurd. But it's should be interesting. Race Labs is telling me underfueled, but I don't believe it.
Never believe Race
You
Labs.
underfueled by 8 seconds on Kevin.
Well, I know I fueled shorter. I put in less fuel, but should be able to go to the end by my math from before the race. So,
All right, well, we'll see where you're up to by the end of it. I don't want to distract you for too long, even though Wobbly did want to distract you as much as he physically could.
Booga, booga, booga.
We'll let you get back to racing. I'll pop you back into BSTV Esports. Thank you very much, Tyler Newitt.
thanks, guys.
Good luck.
Oh, I've moved Wobbly. What a shame. He can't get back in either. That's great. I love it. Why'd you bring him back, Sam?
Why did you bring me back? I was having a good time with Jason.
Because you leave Jason alone.
Yeah. He's having a great
I just came in the channel, asked why am I here, and Jason's like, I don't know.
Because I was going to move you and then Tyler and then just like laugh about it. But then Sam brought you back. Anyway, so where are we up to? Anthony Jacobson did this. Oh,
That's a classic one. That's a really classic one. You've seen that a couple of times this year on the Le Mans.
So what causes that then? That is carrying too much speed through the apex of the corner, and I still don't understand why the back end would rotate round on him that much.
No, it's because most of the downforce is at the rear of this car,
Right.
and you take too much speed through it, and then you hit a slight bump, and it just steps out because of that. You just go up in the air slightly, and then the tires grip on again, and because of the lateral movement you have, you're spinning out because the back end is just taking too more speed than the front.
Right.
Physics.
Yeah, I didn't do very well at that at school.
1-on-1.
In fact, I think I got an A, but never mind.
In simple words, speed.
Uh-huh.
Fast goes boom.
Yes, fast
There
go
we go.
boom, yeah.
But to be fair, obviously Tyler said he didn't underfuel.
No.
I still think he did that, not purposefully, but I think he did.
Right.
You see Kevin moving in on him again, and I think Kevin is able to go flat out, where Tyler has to save a little bit. The way I also approach it is just to try to save as much as I possibly can on the first 10.
Yeah.
So I can go, just gun it, put the hammer down, because the temperatures are going up, because it's a morning session. And you want to really just utilize every time there is on the track. And I think that Kevin did that. He fueled more, doesn't need to save, where Tyler maybe needs to save a little bit to hit a certain number.
Yeah.
And I think this is going on right now on the screen. And Jamie's also catching, by the way.
Yeah, well, visibly, Kevin is catching Tyler at the moment. Less visible, more visible in the numbers, obviously, is Jamie closing in on them. Where did Russell end up? Russell's dropped off this group by 10 seconds nearly.
Yeah, he's in a fight with. He's gonna have a fight, I think, on his hands with Shane. I really feel like Shane is a bit faster than him, and he might be able to close the gap of 9 seconds.
9 seconds, a lot of track though, isn't it? I suppose not so much on a track as big as this.
Yeah,
but the time is still relevant. I mean, how many laps are we going to have left? We've got under half an hour left. Probably got about 7 laps.
I think you're right. Yeah, that's just the first time you're spot on.
All right, ever.
No, I always forgot. What were we talking about?
So yeah, I think over a second a lap is what Shane needs in order to bring that gap down. Not the case for Kevin. He just needs to get on terms and choose his passing point and keep an eye on Jamie behind him, because Jamie is catching. That was a good camera shot there of all three of them.
I don't know what Jamie did this weekend, but he's really quick the whole weekend.
Yeah, he was rapid last night. I mean, nobody's going to be catching Stephen or Marco, that's for sure, in this race. But of everybody else, Jamie's right up there with them.
Yeah, we don't want to discredit how good Stephen and Marco are actually driving. It's just immense. You just don't get a lot of screen time because there's nothing going on. It's like back in the day where they broadcasted the Formula One and Schumacher was like 17 seconds, 70 seconds faster per lap, and when he just showed Schumacher driving it around on his own, like 6 years in a row, which was boring as hell. But yeah, like this. But not to discredit Marco and Steven, they're really doing a really good job, and the fact that they're so far ahead of the others shows that they're on a completely alien level on this track.
Absolutely. I mean, Marco Namela does it in multiple cars on multiple tracks.
Yeah.
The fact that Steven's doing it on this track is, you can only salute that because that's just fantastic performance. And Tyler and Kevin and Jamie, they're not slouching about. They're going rapid, so it shows even more how much innate talent is in the top two.
Yeah, Kevin and Jamie are definitely rapid.
Not Tyler. So
no, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't.
Your
the inference was there in the absence of any other words. So we are on lap 17 here. We've got 25 minutes still to run. 24 minutes, sorry, still to run. This is going to be a tasty battle very shortly. I don't know what Kevin's going to do here. I haven't worked out what his tactic is.
I would definitely stay behind Tyler till the last lap. It looks like Jamie is closing in a little bit. And if that really happens, that Jamie gets within a second, you might want to do the move a little bit earlier because you don't want to be in a freeway battle on Le Mans.
Yeah.
But there's no use in trying to stick it to him because either Kevin needs to be with a second faster than Tyler, which I think he isn't at this point, or you're just going to wait until the last straight, and there's going to be a lot of weaving and a lot of crazy things, and you're going to pass him.
Well, these three cars pretty much did the same lap time last time round. Oh no, they didn't. Jamie was actually the slower. Oh no, it was Tyler that was slowest, yeah. He's busy cutting the hole in the air for Kevin, and he's doing it now, so let's see what Kevin does here. Showing himself in the mirrors, he's going here.
Tyler might be just giving him the room to do so, because I think that Tyler is in the advantage if he doesn't need to save. And even if he has to save, he's now
in a great position to do it. Yeah, totally. So Tyler may have pulled a blinder for his bottom step podium finish. Or can Kevin gap him and get away?
I always feel like this corner feels like a roundabout.
A roundabout? How fast do you do roundabouts in Holland?
No, 300 kilometers an hour in my first gear. But I mean, it isn't weird that this feels like a roundabout because over half of all the roundabouts in the world are in France.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
To be precise, there are more than 30,000 roundabouts in France.
Wow.
And another fun thing, in French, you cannot call your pig Napoleon.
What?
Man, I'm gonna buy a pig and call him Napoleon.
Hot pants. Do we have the hot pants? No, he did a really good job, so... it's a slow one, Keep on driving.
Yeah, just keep going.
Yeah,
the other way.
Well.
The other way, yeah. Left a bit.
Again, in his defense, he's doing a really good job.
He is, yeah. He didn't lose position. He lost maybe some time. Oh, wow, it's all happening. Nikolai.
Ooh, maybe just the track is heating up and the tires are getting warmer and a little bit more slidey.
Stylish, if nothing else.
Oh, no!
Oh, was stylish.
No. Oh, that's...
That could have done some proper damage because you need your aero on this track, don't you?
No, you don't.
What? Not at the front.
No, I thought you were just stating the obvious, so I did as well. But again, so you cannot call your pick Napoleon. Isn't it great? Isn't it great? This is a fun fact.
What's the truth of that, Sam?
I don't know. Ask some French. Do you think?
I mean,
because
you
I'm
want to
living...
be French.
Well, you're thinking that because I'm living in France, I do know the law. I mean,
Yeah,
who knows the law? Seriously.
So I mean, I don't know the law. It was illegal to make fun of him, including especially to name your pick after him. That weird 19th century law is still effective today, so you can call your pick whatever you want, but not Napoleon.
Yeah, okay. What about Bonaparte?
You can do that.
Okay, that's fine.
It's not Napoleon, right?
Oh, okay, that's cool.
Sorry. No, never mind.
Have you read something more ridiculous?
Maybe.
Okay, save it for later.
Save it for later, yeah. We do 3 at a time.
Okay. So, is Jamie catching these two? That's the question. He was...
He's 3.1 seconds behind him last lap.
Yeah, I'm looking at the times in SDK. I don't know how much truth there is in that.
Yeah, I'm looking at SDK as well, but it was 3.1.
Yes, it was.
I know this because I'm paying attention. You might not think I am, but I am.
I wouldn't have said that. I just think you're stupid. And don't be sad about it. It's just what you were given at birth, that's all.
A great body and a handsome head.
Are you looking at some pictures of something? Anyway.
No, I got my webcam on and it's mirroring myself. But all these guys, I mean, aside from Adam, who's being a wuss of not finishing the race.
Yeah.
Jason had an unlucky incident, which I totally agree. He had to tow himself. It's probably gonna take like 10 minutes before you get in. There's no use in keeping continuing. There was nobody near him because Adam was out. But Anthony Jacobs, Nikolai, Tony, and even Jason, they're all having a really good race. Again, I said the top speed and the way you approach this track is quite different than on, let's say, normal tracks.
Absolutely.
So,
I mean, you don't get braking zones like this, do you? And you know, your tyres, they do a different thing here because most of the time they're like going in a straight line, and then you put loads of demand on them to go left and then right straight away. It's, you know, into the chicanes. They don't always behave the way you expect them to because they don't behave like that on any other tracks.
Yeah, and keeping concentration on this track is one of the things that you're gonna struggle with. It's an hour and a half race. It's not a complete endurance. It's not a triple stint, not a double stint. It's like a 1.7 stint or whatever. But it's really still an hour and a half of full focus, and every time you approach the corner, you have to nail it. And especially when the braking zones are this tough, this hard, you gotta be on the edge of your seat the whole time. And you guys are noticing that Tyler is falling back from Kevin, and I really think he underfueled. I think he didn't even notice, but he did.
Yeah, 8 seconds different is quite significant, I think. Maybe you can get that number down and then launch a counter-attack again. But all the while, Jamie is closing on him. 1.5 seconds, I think it was last lap.
1.9.
1.9 seconds, right. I mean, that's significant, isn't it? So I think sadly, you're right. Again, for the first time ever in your life. And he's underfueled it possibly a bit too much, even if the tactic was there, which it didn't sound like it was. Maybe he's going to struggle to get to the end in 3rd place here. looking at the stationary times at the minute. So yeah, his pit time was 8 seconds shorter than everybody else. I think Marco Nemela must have had a sandwich while he was in the pits. He was stopped
Probably
39 seconds nearly. There he is, making his way to the first chicane. He's probably learning a new language while he's driving as well, or something like that.
He probably read the whole French dictionary.
Yeah, doing yoga in his driving seat as he's going as well. Stephen is 44 seconds nearly behind the leader, but 35 seconds ahead of Kevin Viamont, which is the battle we've been watching. Oh, hang on, that's Shane.
Oh, I didn't expect that. He was
He
was doing a good job. Yeah. You see, it barely like 6 seconds left. He was really gaining on Ross.
Yeah. He's thrown it into the last
Yeah, too much speed
chicane.
again.
Yeah, just too much speed, yeah. Bit over eager to catch up with Russell, I think.
Yeah. And it might be they were probably going to be in the same Discord and winding each other up. Ross would never be wound up. Never, ever. Never, ever. Never,
Yes.
ever would Ross be wound up.
No, it's never happened. He's not the angriest man in the world at all.
No, not at all. No. And Shane isn't either.
So on board here with Jamie.
So
I mean, when you're on board, it feels like a faster experience, doesn't it, than watching it off the TV cameras?
It's one of the things iRacing does really well compared to other sims is that you really experience the speed.
Yeah.
Every time I switch over to ACC, I feel like I'm slower, even with the same FOF or even with another FOF, just putting it backwards. It's one of the main things iRacing really has developed well. Like you really feel like you're in the car. Jamie running a VR, he's gonna feel like he's really there. Obviously, he is there, but
In a simulated experience, yeah.
yeah.
So Jamie's not saving any fuel at all here. He was about as late as you can be in the transition to the brakes. From
And
the
you can
gas,
see that Jamie is slightly, bit by bit, getting closer to Tyler, and he's almost within that super NOS driver, the super NOS draft range.
Yeah.
But you really feel like you're suddenly just getting pulled forward, and he's right on the bare edge of it. And I think that on certain spots, and probably going to be on the braking zones, he's going to be gaining compared to Tyler, because I still think, again, I might be wrong, but it still feels like Tyler is saving quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, his lap time was about half a second down on Kevin last time round. A little less down on Jamie, but still about 4/10. It'll be interesting to see into some of the bigger braking zones, probably not these ones, but whether he, saves anything.
And it's even more impressive. I think like he lives in New York, right? Like in New York State.
No.
No. I know him in fact, but I mean he lives in New York State, so it's gonna be midday, I guess. I don't know, but for Jamie and me and you guys, it's evening, so we had a whole day and we're still doing the lap times,
No, it doesn't seem to be saving much there to me. I don't know whether whatever he didn't need, he didn't put in or something like that.
Our racer director mentioned something about Jamie slowing down. But
Yeah, he's gonna
Yeah.
slow down. We can see it on the inside picture, just cleared before the inside straight.
okay.
So he managed that well. He didn't lose too much.
Yeah, but he
No.
was within 1.2 seconds, and now has to do the same thing again.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit demoralising. Where did he pick that up then? Must have been the last chicanes.
No, on Dunlop.
On Dunlop, right, okay.
On the inside, there's one. So, if I would have searched for stupid facts from New York State,
Yeah.
I'm unsure, but I think that Tyler mentioned he was from New York State. But Tyler, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you were from New York State, but apparently it's illegal to place an ice cream cone in your pocket on Sundays.
What?
Can you repeat that to make sure I did understand correctly?
I'll tell you, it's illegal to put an ice cream cone in your pocket on a Sunday in the state of New York.
Yeah, in public, sorry.
In public, right?
Why
Okay, so
would you put?
you can stuff as many in as you like in private. Is that right?
Are you
Tyler,
actually talking about the real ice cream cone, please? Or is that?
I'm talking about. Yeah, I am. And Tyler
Does
just
that,
mentioned.
does that include the one with the chocolate on the top?
That's rubbish.
I guess.
No.
And if you would have to say, like, you would have like a dunk. Oh, wait.
Hang on.
Serious
This is Nikolai. Ooh, that's a bit like Shane's effort.
Yeah, but it looked like an overcorrection.
Yeah, maybe.
I think. Are we able to see that one again, Sam, with an onboard view? I think it was a little bit of an overcorrection. He probably took the speed, corrected it, like right there, and then suddenly snapped again. See?
Yeah. It's difficult to... I find it difficult to know what to do in that situation. I've done that myself at that turn, actually. And do you gas it? Do you stamp on the brake? What do you counter the turn?
It depends on the car.
Yeah.
If like you have this situation in the V8, or you have it in another car which doesn't have ABS. Oh, is he now lapping? Is his Marco lapping Anthony Jacobs?
It will be, yeah. So Marco's finally found out there's other cars on the track.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so it depends on the car. In a car with ABS, you still want to hit the brakes, but I think that he was driving the Porsche, right? I mean the Audi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like a real thing that the Audi does is when the back end snaps, there's no way to save it. It's a really good car in general, but once it goes, it goes.
Right.
Compared to a car where you don't have ABS, let's say the V8, you stamp on the brake, you're gonna overheat the tires like crazy. At least you won't spin out.
Yeah.
And you know for a fact that with a TCR, you do the different thing. You don't stamp on the brakes. You hit the throttle, so the rear snaps back in line.
Yeah.
And with the GT3s, it's really, well, car specific, but in general, once it really goes, there's no stopping it.
Yeah, it was the Audi was the car that people said once upon a time wasn't recoverable once it got into a bit of a spin.
It did get a bit better, yeah.
Yeah, and I thought they'd done something about that because people were getting annoyed with it. I remember the McLaren used to be one that was deemed as safe once upon a time, and then suddenly became like similar and a bit more lethal. We saw Tyler going through the Porsche curves before and kind of wrestling the car a bit going through there on the change of direction.
Are we gonna get an extra lap?
Oh.
And I think that might be the reason that I said that Tyler on the fuel.
Right.
Because Marco is
so quick.
is super quick on track right now. So we might get an extra lap, which Kyler didn't account for.
always an issue, yeah. And you're right, Marco is lighting up purple sectors all the way around at the moment.
So he's doing 3 minutes and 53 seconds, 52?
51, really.
51. So it's got to be really close because he's now through the Porsche curse.
Uh-huh.
And if he's going to be over the line before 26, 26.3, 26.7, then we're going to have the extra lap.
Yeah, I think he might go sub 351 this time. Looking at his sector times, if sector 4 is equally as
It's got to be marginally close.
Well, he's closing now. We should be able to see Barney the flagman if he's on his podium.
And he's
not waving. He's not waving.
No,
this is another lap.
so they get the extra lap because Marco went insanely fast.
So that might affect more than just anybody marginal on the normal field. That more than just Tyler. I mean, it might affect more than half the field or something daft like that. I don't know. People generally put in very specific amounts of fuel, obviously. Some people calculate that they're going to get lapped, etc. So,
yeah. Before I go off to a little bathroom pit stop again, I wanted to finish this last fact. It's illegal to allow a donkey to sleep in your bathtub. Bye bye.
Is that just in general, or in New York State, or in France? Who knows? And why would you have a donkey in your bathtub sleeping anyway? See, if you hadn't tuned into this broadcast, you wouldn't be as well-rounded a human without these knowledgeable facts that are being shared with you for free. So, and this is as Kevin, of course, comes to the end of this lap. These guys possibly were expecting to see the white flag because it was such a fine margin.
Tyler, if you don't have enough fuel, can you please flash your lights, please? We would love to know.
See, folks, this has worked before. He's not flashing them yet. So maybe he's good. Maybe he's good. Jamie Wilson has not managed to eat into that gap again. And Kevin looks like he's fully on it. And Mika Esports likely, but not yet guaranteed, to get a podium finish.
If Marco didn't have the extra fuel, he would have just let off.
Yeah.
So he definitely has enough fuel.
Well, he was in the pits long enough. 5 seconds longer than anybody else.
Maybe because he knew he was doing the extra lap, like marginally.
Yeah.
Apparently, there is a white flag and the dude didn't wave it.
So we're on the last lap. Well, Barney needs to be sacked.
And I don't want to say who gave me the information, but just for the sake of it, you're not allowed to wear. It's forbidden to wear a jacket without matching pants in New York. I just leave it at that.
Well, we can see on Jamie's inset that they actually have the white flag. So
yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
It's weird because the guy wasn't waving, the
Definitely
most fanatic flag wave guy ever.
Maybe it was a really small flag. like really, really small. So as Marco heads towards the end of lap 23. Last chicane to go. So unless his car explodes right now, he has won at Le Mans. So congratulations to him.
A really good job. The same pace.
Yeah. Absolutely crazy pace. We've got a little bit to wait, actually, before Stephen crosses the line.
Who also did an amazing job compared to the other guys.
Yes, just
I know
worlds
that
apart.
I know it looks like that that Marco just pulled away like crazy, and he did. But then again, Steven pulled away from the other guys as well.
It's been a fantastic performance from the pair of them.
And I think that Kevin is going to reel in the third place.
Yeah, I can't see Kevin giving that up now. Awesome drive from Stephen Walker for Spectre 6.
And even drove by the pit just to give his imaginary crew members a high five.
Why not? If it makes you feel good, it makes you feel good. Yeah, if anything, Tyler's closed this gap a little bit in the last lap.
I think Jamie was a little bit scruffy the last couple of laps.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin did a really good job as well. He reeled it in behind Tyler, was really patient by staying behind him. Tyler, I
what's
told
going on?
you he underfielded!
Whoa, that was so
Sorry.
close.
I shouldn't be happy about this, but I knew it.
Jamie Wilson literally snatches 4th place away from Tyler with maybe 2 meters to go or something like that. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't want to say I told you so, but I'm definitely going to say I knew someone in this booth was right.
There can't have been much in this. This is the replay.
He just is at the
You
end
can see
of
the flames flickering.
Yeah.
Wow. Maybe more than a couple of meters then. Maybe more like 30. But that's so close.
That was a crazy finish.
Oh, it's already coughing before he finished the chicane.
It's just completely empty, yeah. Yeah, so I was about to say, Kevin did a really good job by being patient and staying behind Tyler. And eventually got past him. Did lose out on the pit again, but you see that in the end, Tyler apparently underfield just slightly, like a leader. So that's really, really unfortunate. That's like doing a lap and just not lifting off twice in a corner or something. That's the amount of small margin there was in it.
That's a tiny margin. It's unbelievable, that. We've seen Jason Haddington cross the line, and Tony Walker and this is Nikolai Bogotyrev. All these on lead lap, obviously.
Yeah, and it's about setting goals. So yesterday we spoke about Alan, or you guys spoke about Alan setting goals and not being lapped on the Nürburgring.
Yeah.
I think this is one. Nikolai doesn't really drive the GT3s. He turned up. He didn't get a lap down on such a big track, on such a long race. Hats off to him for sticking it around and a really good drive as well.
Yeah, very mature drive. In a car that we know isn't the easiest to handle at certain points. But this is your race winner, Marco Nemela, just proving that he had enough fuel to do another lap.
Told you.
He probably had enough fuel to do the next race.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to give him a penalty next race, like a weight penalty for like 10 kilos.
10 kilos, is that all? To make a difference, I think it'd have to be more than that. Speaking of next race will be on August 21st. And that'll be at Road Atlanta. That's a really nice track for GT3 cars. And one of my personal favourite tracks.
When do we have that race?
August 21st.
Oh, I'm missing that. I'm still in Italy then.
Well, you're just not very good, are you? Yeah, we're mature. So, race results have become official. Marco Nemela, unsurprisingly, is your race winner here at Le Mans for round 3 of the GTCC for Glacier Racing. In second place was Stephen Walker for Spectre 6, the word, not the number. Kevin Viemont finished on the bottom step of the podium. A great result from him as well as for the other two, for Mika Esports. Jamie Wilson just missed out on the podium in 4th place for Team Chimera, but managed to just about get round Tyler Newitt's car, which was running out of fuel, and he finished in 5th for BSTB Esports Orange. In 6th was Russell Cowell for Spectre 6, the word, not the number. And his sister teammate, Shane Powell, finished 7th for Spectre 6, but the number this time. Jason Haddington finished in 8th place for RWC Racing, with Tony Walker in 9th for Spectre 6 Purple. Nikolai Bogatyrov finished in 10th place for Never Quit Racing. And then Anthony Jacobson finished 11th for Result Clothing and iRacing Team. Jason Morris finished 12th, and Adam Wright failed to finish. So, Wobbly, whilst that was not the most massive field on such a massive track, we had a rather large amount of action going through the field there.
I feel like the guys who sign up to the league, who turn up week in and week out, they are all quality drivers. Spencer obviously wasn't here. I wasn't driving the one. And with us two as an addition, and Matt being there, I think that everybody has someone to drive against. And you'll see that well, besides Marco and Steven today, but usually Steven is right on the cusp of being with Tyler, me, Jamie, and the others. And that a little bit more further back, you got Matt, Russ, and Shane. Not to discredit how good they are, but just how they drive the cars. They all have battles. We all have fun on the track. And you see that a small field definitely isn't a bad thing. It definitely is just all about the drivers who drive the car.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with that more. We'll start with the interviews. There's no Marco. Often he doesn't turn up for interviews. So Stephen Walker's in the booth for you, Wobbly.
So, Stephen, you did a really shit job today.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Marco's
mate.
just 2.5 seconds quicker a lap than me on average, if I don't make a mistake.
Yeah, so how was it? I mean, I kind of rooted for you in the beginning. Like, I was telling Pete that you might be able to stick in the draft. But did you have a feeling that you had any chance against his, pace?
With the limited practice sessions that he'd been in, and I'd seen the times that he was doing, and I couldn't even complete a single lap without spinning it. I was in my head, I was like, there's absolutely no way. And then on that first lap, throughout all the long straights, I was like, do you know what? If I can stay close to him through the last sector, which is the one I struggled with the most, then I might just be able to stay with him. But not for a second do I think I would have challenged him. However, we got through that last sector. I think he put 2 seconds on, or at least 1.5 seconds, and then again the next lap, and then he was gone. As soon as I lost that toe, he was just going, and I wasn't going slow. I was going as fast as I physically could.
And you seem to be quite a bit quicker than the guys behind you. So that's what I said to Pete as well. Like, Marco's really, really quick, but you did a really good job as well, because you drove like 35 seconds before in front of Kevin eventually.
Yeah, I don't know whether they went a lap longer, so I feel like they might have been fuel saving and slowing themselves down. Maybe, I don't know, because when I could see the lap times in the second half of the race, and they were pretty much matching mine. I think when they were going flat out, it was only when I really started. Well, it was only when I knew for 100% that I wasn't going to be short on fuel that I went slightly quicker. But the lap time seemed to be the same. So I feel like the way it worked out, the start of the race, I could make that gap, and I think the toe from Marco on that first lap helped put the distance between us. And then in the second half, I was just trying to keep a steady pace. Like, I think I got 2 slowdowns in the whole race. So unless I got one of those, and I nearly spun it in the first sector on one of the laps. Other than that, we were pretty much the same pace, those guys. So, I don't know. I would have been in that battle if they'd been a bit closer in that first stint, maybe.
Yeah, it looked like you and Marco were on a different level. After the first lap, I really had a feeling like you're gonna keep up with him, but then somehow Marco put the afterburner on and it was gone.
It's his pace in that last sector through the Porsche curbs. Like, I started off with like nearly no downforce, and I couldn't get the car around, so I had to make it safe. And I was thinking, well, I'm going to be really slow. I'm going to be stuck on the straights. And then obviously lap time, it just kind of came. Like I was watching him apex the Porsche curbs, and he was 10 miles an hour quicker than I was, and he looked smoother. I was like, okay, that's where he's making, I'd say, 90% of his time. The rest of it was obviously he's just better. Like I was never ever going to beat him, especially around here. I'm not very good around here.
According
But are
to
you-
the telemetry we have, Steven, you were the fastest guy on track on the straight with 290 kilometers.
290. Yeah.
And Marco did top at 280 to 284, 285.
Ah, there you go. Yeah, I could have gone with 5 wing, but I had 4 because. Hey, because I struggled so much with setup, and then I loaded up because I saw that, and then I was like, I'm just going to go back to my Spa setup. That was really good. I took 1 click of wing off it, made a few other adjustments, and I could get around the lap. So I was like, I'll be happy with that. I just want to finish this race, genuinely thinking I'd be mid-pack. I wasn't expecting what happened at all. So I'll take that, to be fair.
So in the end, a good race, a good result. I guess besides the fact that you can get to Marco, really pleased with the result, I guess. And you have any guys you want to give a shout out to, afterburners, whatever you want to say?
Yeah, obviously you guys putting it on. Wobbly for being the old commentary man. The rest of my team, I think they did well. They all finished the race. And then Marco just for being the alien upon alien that he is.
Okay, cheers, mate. Good luck next week. No, in 2 weeks on. I want to say Filipina, but that's not true. Road Atlanta.
Oh, I like that track. That'd be fun.
Cool. Catch you on Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, I'll be there. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, mate.
So Marco Namela, our race winner, has joined us after all. Good evening, Marco. How are you doing?
Hello.
So, a few laps ago, you won Le Mans, and then I think you won Road Atlanta as well because you had enough time in the bag to do that. What is wrong with you driving as fast as that? That's amazing.
I have like 1,000 hours on that track on different cars, so it's easily my most driven track. So
That's just stunning. And we were saying that Stephen did phenomenally well to gap the rest of the field by as much as he did, but you were just... are you sure you were driving in the same class of car?
yeah, I think the Merc is also pretty good there. Like the exits, and I could run a little bit higher wing than everyone else.
Stephen is not going to like hearing you just said that, given the conversation we've just had with him in this booth. So, because he was a bit frustrated that he didn't make a different wing choice. But yeah, I mean, did you struggle in any way tonight? I mean, you stopped for about 4 seconds longer than everybody else, but I assumed that you'd just gone to the toilet, washed your hands, had a chat with your family, maybe read the newspaper, and then got back in the car. Is that about right?
Yeah, actually filled the car like 20 liters too much.
20 litres?
Yeah, and
What?
and then I was trying to get the extra lap.
Yeah, we were looking at that, and we thought you'd done it because Barney wasn't waving on our screen, but you did take the white flag when.
Yeah, the Barney gave it too early because my average lap time was below the threshold.
Right.
So yeah, it was a bit annoying.
I think you'd have destroyed some people's races if you'd gone one extra lap because we don't think Tyler had more than just vapour inside the tank at the end of that race. We're at Road Atlanta next time out. I know you're quick there because I've seen you drive V8s around there. Are you looking forward to Road Atlanta?
Yeah, I actually like all the tracks on the calendar, so yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And 20 people just quit the league.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to Philippine to drive against you, Marco. It's my best track. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I can punch you off if you want to.
Okay. Looking forward to that.
you got to catch him first, or let him lap you. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
You guys, all the drivers, yeah, thanks.
Awesome stuff. And we'll see you at Road Atlanta, Marco and Amela.
See you.
Right then, for yourself, Wobbly, you've got our
Kevin?
third place finisher, Kevin Viermont. Over to you.
Welcome
Hi.
to the booth, Kevin.
Thank you.
So, how was that one for you? You got third, beat Tyler. I mean, I can imagine that you're, pretty pleased with the race.
Yes, it's a very good battle with Taylor and Jimmy. The race is my autumn race, but I want a podium in this race, and I have the podium. I'm happy, and it's very close with Tyler. I know Tyler save fuel, and I don't want pass Tyler for me save fuel too. And in the last stint, I know Tyler save any more fuel, and my strategy is pass Tyler and escape me for Tyler don't save fuel, and Tyler haven't fuel for finish the line.
Yeah, it looked like you were, especially you were faster in the second stint, but it looked like you kept behind him, stayed behind him purposefully. As you said, I think you saved more than Tyler, and overall you did a really good job. Was it like the approach you took? Was it the one you planned out, or was it just the way the race went your way like this?
My race plan is save fuel in the first stint. For Marco and Steven is so fast, and we know is the last the last place for the podium, and I don't want pass on Taylor for save, and I in the race I know Taylor is fast on straight, and me with the Porsche I am more fast him in the last left chicane and very hard braking zone.
As a last question, how was the Porsche to drive around Le Mans? Was it, as you mentioned, you were quick in the last sector, lost a bit out on the straights, but in general, did you feel like the car suited the track?
I have safe aero setup, and the Porsche is very tricky on the fast corner. The rear is so loose, and is very tricky for push with a Porsche. But it's my first season in GT3 after 2 seasons in IndyCar and other season in the league in TCR in GT4. I training very lot for close the gap with the leader, but he's very difficult.
He's really fast. Yeah,
Yes.
he is really fast. So, congratulations on your third position. Is there anyone you would give a shout out to?
I want to thanks my team, Make Sport, and partner nuage+.com, Noroto and No Life, and you for the broadcast.
Okay, great. Cheers, mate. Congratulations on your third position. Looking forward to see you on track again.
Thanks.
Just one thing from me, Kevin, and just to echo what Roman and Sam have said on the chat. Your English is phenomenally improved from the days when we used to interview you for GT4 TCR, so congratulations on that as well.
Thanks.
Okay, so who's left in the booth? Tyler's skulked it, so you don't get to speak to him. we've got one other in the booth, which I'll interview. So, good evening, Jamie. How are you doing?
Hello. Yeah, not bad, thank you.
So, coming out of the last corner.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
I was just saying to Tyler, that whole race, I had a slowdown at the start of that race, as you probably
we
picked
saw
up
that.
on.
Yeah.
Which was you've cut the track, you must give back a second. So please park for 3 years. I needed a calendar to serve that one. It was very, very annoying. Although in the end, I was thankful for it because it gave me a target to try and catch Tyler again.
Mm-hmm.
And so the rest, 85 minutes or whatever, was laser focused on I need to catch Tyler. And I was absolutely pushing the wheels off the thing the whole time to try and get there.
We were wondering about whether you were fuel saving at certain points, but then we jumped on board with you and you weren't.
Nope.
And then we were trying to figure out what's he going to do when he's pitted compared to the others. And we saw Tyler come out way ahead of Kevin. And then Wobbly spotted that he'd been in for about 8 seconds less than he thought he should. Was it 8 seconds you said, Wobbly?
8.
8, yeah.
You said 8. I just noticed he was short.
Oh, okay. So we were like, well, how's that going to work out then? And then we thought, of course, that Marco had managed to get the extra lap in because Barney wasn't waving on our screens, but he should have been. So, yeah. It's been quite a dramatic race, actually, seeing as there was only 13 of you on track and most of it, 12, because obviously Adam wanted an early night.
Yeah, it was, again, it's one of those that isn't potentially a barnstormer side-by-side all the time sort of thing. But there was a lot of sort of not strategy in a certain way. You know, waiting for the two ahead to like try to battle, and then Tyler sort of didn't battle as long there as I had hoped, and so I was sort of working it backwards from the end of the race, thinking if I'm catching at this rate, then I've got like 5 laps. So if I can keep this pace up, then I'll be just about within tow range on the last lap.
Yeah.
I'm sort of like working, computing all of that, and then I got another bloody slowdown.
Right.
That was just so annoying. I was kicking myself. I think without that, I might have just about been in the tow. And then as it turns out, after all that, he coughed at the end, so it didn't actually matter.
Whilst it was, you don't like to see anybody lose positions for running out of fuel. I mean, it's happened, so somebody else is going to monopolise and take advantage of it. Great racing tonight, and Road Atlanta's next. Is that one that features highly?
Yeah, always gone fairly well there. Nice big curbs to throw the car at. That sort of thing. Yeah, no, it should be good. It's a bit more hectic, certainly that first half of the lap anyway. And then there's obviously a very long straight. It's not going to be as strung out as it was here. Le Mans tends to string cars out. It's just not... Le Mans isn't really too interesting a track in a sprint context like this. So it's, hour and a half, that's a sprint in Le Mans terms. So, Road Atlanta should be better suited to this sort of racing, hopefully.
Cool. And anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you disappear and prepare for Wednesday?
Shout out to Russell for having his mistake and being too slow for us to make progress as a group, so I ditched him. Thanks to yourself for putting it on. Thanks to those that showed up. Hopefully it's just a little dip, unlike all F4, it's just a dip, and it'll once we get into some other tracks, it'll go back to the earlier levels of the season in terms of participation. And I suppose to Simon for not spoiling the IndyCar for me because I'm recording it.
I'm going to tell you one.
No, you're not, because you're not watching it either.
I am watching it.
Are you?
Yeah, Norris won.
In that case, we will see you on Wednesday, hopefully, and at Road America for this one next. Thank you very much, Jamie Wilson.
Cheers, guys.
So, another fantastic round of GTCC action. I don't know where GT4 is on Wednesday.
Branch Hatch.
Brands Hatch. Oh yeah, you did tell me that earlier. I just don't pay very much attention to the words that you say. Sorry,
what was that?
Yeah, and then next weekend we're back in V8 action. I should know where that is as well. Suzuka. I got there just in time-ish, which is going to be a great race for V8s. I've got nothing else to say about this other than Marco was imperious. Stephen was nearly as imperious, and everybody else had a fantastic race, really, apart from Adam. So I'll say goodnight, bring the broadcast to a close, and let the other guys say goodnight also. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time for another great BSTV race. Oh, driver of the evening. Right, I've been thinking about that the whole way through when Wobbly was dirging on about something. I do this a lot anyway. So I was thinking Jason Haddington maybe, but he did actually have a spin. He said on lead lap, but he had a spin, and I gave all of my good feeling about that staying on the lead lap thing to Alan last night. I thought about Marco being head and shoulders away from everybody else, but then I thought Stephen stuck his neck out ahead of everybody, really. So my vote is going to go for Stephen Walker. Wobbly.
My vote is going to be Russell. And I'm going to vote Russell because he kept complaining that he didn't get a vote in GT4 GCR.
Sympathy vote, okay. Sympathy vote for Russell Cowell. Sam?
He deserves at least one vote. So I'm going to pick Marco, but special mention to Jamie because he did a really good job after his spin to try and get back almost on the podium.
Can we give minus votes as well?
Is it for Adam?
No, it's for Tyler.
Well, both.
Because I was both. Because I was right on few.
All right then, not really. In that case, all of what I said previously. Now that we've sorted out driver of the evening, and we'll see you next time. Thank you all. Good night. Over to Wobbly.
Yeah, gonna catch you guys later. That was a really good drive to all the drivers.
Speak faster. Yeah. And good night, everybody. See you next time around.